There is a quiet moment that happens in almost every home with a cat in it, and most people never think twice about it. Picture it for a second. You are sitting on the edge of the couch after a long day. Your cat walks past your ankle, tail low, eyes half open, and instead of stopping, may keep going. Maybe they settle 3 feet away. Maybe they choose the arm of a chair instead of your lap. And in that small, ordinary second, a thought slips in that most cat owners would never say out loud. Do they actually like me? Do they choose me? Or do they just tolerate me because I am the one who opens the food? If that thought has ever brushed the edge of your mind, hear this clearly. That doubt does not make anyone a bad owner. It makes them thoughtful. The people who ask that question are the ones whose cats end up bonded for life because they are paying attention. And tonight, this video is going to give you something to actually do about it. Welcome back to the channel. This is the corner of the internet where we slow down and look at the small, strange, tender things cats do with the humans they share their homes with. Over the years, veterinary behaviorists, university researchers, and longtime shelter workers have all been circling the same quiet truth. The difference between a cat who tolerates a person and a cat who actively chooses them almost never comes down to money, or breed, or how long they have lived together. It comes down to 7 very small things you can do with your hand every night in under a minute each. No treats, no new gear, no training clicker. Just a hand, some attention, and the willingness to slow down for about 60 seconds at a time. This video walks through all 7. But there is something worth flagging up front. The first 6 habits are powerful on their own. The 7th, though, is the one that changes the entire relationship. It is the one long-term cat owners quietly report as the moment their cats started seeking them out across the house. So stick around all the way to the end, because habit number 7, done correctly, unlocks something deeper than the other 6 combined. Grab a notebook if that helps, and go ahead and subscribe so the next one of these feline deep dives lands in your feed. This is a slow channel on purpose, and it works better when you can come back to it. Before the list begins, one small piece of grounding. A research group at Oregon State University, working with domestic cats and their humans, showed something that surprised a lot of people who assumed cats were emotionally indifferent. Cats form measurable, stable attachment bonds with their people in patterns similar to what we see in dogs and even in human infants. The majority of cats studied showed what researchers call secure attachment, meaning they treat their person as a base of safety in a stressful world. What that tells us is simple. A cat is not indifferent. A cat is reading their human constantly. The 7 habits coming up are the language they are already listening for. Let us start. Habit 1. The slow blink, given first. Here is what that looks like. When a cat is settled in the same room, not eating, not stalking, just resting, the human looks at them softly, and then closes both eyes, holds them closed for about 1 full second, and opens them again, unhurried. That is it. No wide smile. No leaning forward. No sound, just the blink. The tell is subtle, but once anyone sees it, they never miss it again. The cat will often blink back. Sometimes they answer with a full, slow closure of both eyes. Sometimes it is only a soft narrowing, almost like the corners of their eyes are smiling. Either way, that is a cat saying in their language that they feel safe with the person in the room. Researchers at the University of Sussex and the University of Portsmouth published work a few years ago, showing that when humans slow blink at cats, the cats are significantly more likely to slow blink back and to approach the human afterward, even with strangers. In plain terms, the slow blink is not folklore. It is a measurable de-escalation signal that cats use with each other and with us. Here is the technique. Sit or stand at least 3 or 4 feet away. Turn the body slightly to the side rather than squaring off face to face, because a full frontal stare from a large mammal reads as a threat in the predator world a cat's brain still lives in. Keep the mouth soft. Blink once, slowly. Wait. If nothing happens, blink again. Total investment under 10 seconds. One caution. If a cat is already agitated, ears back, tail twitching hard, this is not the moment. The slow blink works when a cat is neutral to relaxed. Trying it during a moment of stress will feel to them like the storm they are in is being ignored. Do this every night for a week, and something quiet starts to happen. The cat begins initiating the blink first. And that is the beginning. It is nothing, though, compared to what Habit 2 does when it gets added in. Habit 2. The offered hand held still. Most people, when they want to greet a cat, reach for the cat. The hand comes forward, palm down, fingers spread, moving toward the head. In cat language, that is almost the exact posture of a bird of prey descending. That is not an exaggeration. Watch a hawk swoop, and then watch a well-meaning hand approach a cat from above. Their nervous system does not know the difference. Here is the reversal. Instead of reaching, offer. Extend the hand at the cat's height, or just below it, with the back of the hand facing them, fingers loosely curled, and stop. No moving forward. No wiggling fingers. Simply become a still object in their world about 6 to 8 inches from their nose and wait. The tell here is beautiful. A cat will do one of 3 things. They will lean their head forward and touch the knuckles with the very tip of their nose. They will slide their cheek along the fingers. Or they will do neither and simply look and then turn away. All 3 answers are honest and all 3 matter. The nose touch is a formal greeting. The cheek slide is scent marking, which is a cat saying this human belongs to their inner circle. The turn away is a cat saying, not tonight, and honoring that answer is exactly how trust gets built for tomorrow night. Behavioral work out of the University of Lincoln in the United Kingdom has consistently shown that cats who are allowed to control the pace and initiation of contact score lower on stress indicators and higher on affiliative behavior toward their owners. Control matters to a cat almost more than affection does. Give them control of the greeting, and the affection follows on its own. One caution. Do not move the hand toward their face after they touch it. Let the cat make the second move too. If they want more, they will press their cheek in. If they do not, the round is still a win because the human kept their word. That is enough for 2 small things. But watch what happens when the third comes in, because this is where owners start reporting that their cat has changed personalities. Habit 3. The one-finger cheek scratch at the corner of the mouth. Cats have scent glands packed into specific regions of their face. There is a cluster at the base of the ears, another along the cheeks, and a particularly dense set right at the corners of the mouth where the whiskers meet the lip line. When a cat rubs their face on the corner of a door frame, or on the leg of a coffee table, or on the edge of a phone, they are depositing pheromones from those glands. They are, in the most literal sense, writing their name on their world. When a human scratches that exact spot with one gentle finger, they are helping the cat do what the cat is biologically driven to do. That is participation in scent marking. And to a cat's brain, that turns the human from a visitor in the home into part of the home. Here is the technique. 1 finger, not 4. The pad of the index finger held sideways so the fingernail is not pointing at them. Find a little indent right where the whisker pad meets the mouth. Rub in tiny, slow circles, no bigger than a dime, for about 10 to 15 seconds. Then stop. Always stop before the cat wants the human to. The tell is unmistakable. The eyes go half closed. The head pushes into the finger instead of away from it. Sometimes a slow, rolling purr starts deep in the chest. And here is the part that stays with people. Many cats, after this, will turn and rub the same cheek on the hand, transferring their scent onto the human. When a cat scent marks a person, that person has crossed a line most humans in the cat's life will never cross. One caution, and it matters. If a cat is a senior or has any history of dental disease, they may have sore spots around the mouth. If they flinch, pull back, or their skin twitches sharply, stop immediately and mention it to a veterinarian at the next visit. Oral pain in cats hides in exactly this region, and a cat who used to love this scratch and suddenly hates it is telling their human something worth listening to. That is 3. Already, without doing anything else, a cat will begin to shift toward the person doing this. But the next habit changes the sound of a home. Habit 4. The soft, low, name-spoken voice. There is an old piece of internet folklore that says cats do not recognize their names. That has been repeated online for years. It is not true. A team at Sophia University in Tokyo ran a careful set of experiments where cats were exposed to their own name mixed in with other similar-sounding words spoken by their owners and by strangers. The cats consistently responded differently to their own name with ear movements, head turns, and pupil changes, even when a stranger said it. They know, they just do not always feel the need to answer. But there is a very specific way of saying a cat's name that they respond to far more strongly than any other. Most people never use it. It is low in pitch, soft in volume, and slightly drawn out at the end. Not the high, chirpy, sing-song version most humans instinctively use with animals. Cats communicate with each other in low, quiet frequencies most of the time. High-pitched, excited sound is what a distressed kitten makes. So when a human uses a bright, high voice, they are, in a way, telling the adult cat that something is wrong. Try this tonight. Sit near the cat. Say their name once, low, warm, and unhurried, as if finishing a sentence instead of starting one. Then say nothing for a full 10 seconds. Let the name sit in the air. The tell will be one of 2 things. Ear twitch toward the voice without them turning their head. Or, if enough trust is built already, they will turn and look and hold the look longer than they used to. The caution here is small but real. Do not overuse the name. If it gets said 100 times a day, especially in frustration, the name loses its meaning. Reserve the soft version for connection moments, and the cat will start associating it with safety instead of noise. 4 habits in, most cats have already started to shift toward the person doing this. But habit 5 is the one almost no owner thinks about. Habit 5. The stillness invitation. This one is not a movement. It is the deliberate removal of movement. Once a night, when a cat is somewhere in the room with their human, the human becomes the calmest object in the space. Phone down, feet still, breath slow, no calling. No patting the couch, no eye contact. Just becoming a warm, quiet mountain and waiting. Cats are ambush predators. Their nervous system is wired to notice motion first. When a human moves constantly, tapping, shifting, scrolling, reaching, adjusting, they are sending 100 small stimuli per minute, and the cat's brain is tracking all of it whether it shows or not. When the human goes still, they drop out of the noise. And that is when many cats, especially the more reserved ones, will finally choose to come closer. The tell here can take a few nights to appear, so patience matters. It usually starts with the cat repositioning to face their person, even from across the room. Then the eyes soften. Then, one night, they get up and walk over and settle within arm's reach, and it feels like they made a decision. They did. Work coming out of the Cornell Feline Health Center and various environmental behavior groups has emphasized how much unpredictable human motion contributes to low-grade chronic stress in indoor cats. Giving a cat one predictable pocket of stillness a night is, in the most literal sense, a gift to their nervous system. One caution: do not use the stillness moment as bait where a human sits still just long enough for the cat to come and then immediately grabs or pets. That teaches the cat that stillness is a trick. When they come, let them come. If they sit near their human and do nothing, that is the whole point. 5 in, 2 to go. This is where it is worth slowing down, because habit 6 is the one people write about years later, saying it saved a bond they thought was already lost. Habit 6. The nightly transition ritual. Cats are creatures of pattern. Their entire day is organized around predictable pulses of activity and rest. When they can predict their human, they relax around that human. When they cannot, they read the human as weather, unpredictable, and something to brace for. The ritual is simple. Choose one moment every night at roughly the same time that becomes shared. It might be the last 20 seconds before the lamp goes off. It might be right after teeth brushing. It might be the pause between the last email of the day and getting into bed. Whatever moment gets chosen, keep it consistent and make it a soft, low-key exchange. A slow blink. A single cheek scratch. A quiet good night in that low voice, under a minute. Every night. The tell here is one of the most touching things owners report. Within about 2 to 3 weeks, cats start showing up for it. They will walk into the bathroom during teeth brushing. They will sit on the corner of the bed as the alarm gets set. They are not asking for food. They are not asking for play. They are showing up for the appointment that was accidentally or intentionally put on their calendar. The University of Sussex and behavioral groups at UC Davis have both documented how strongly ritualized daily contact predicts secure attachment in companion cats. It is not the intensity of the interaction that matters most. It is the reliability of it. A tiny thing done every night outperforms a giant thing done rarely. This is where most people get the whole relationship wrong. They wait for weekends. Cats do not have weekends. One caution. If a night gets missed, do not overcompensate the next night with a longer, more intense version. Just return to the small, quiet version. A cat is not counting minutes. They are counting the pattern. Before we get to the last one, here is something worth answering in the comments. Which of these first 6 habits sounds like the one your cat would respond to fastest? The slow blink, the still hand, the cheek scratch, the low voice, the stillness, or the nightly ritual? Drop the number below. The patterns that show up in the comments section under videos like this genuinely teach the rest of us things no textbook ever covers. Now, habit 7. This one has been held back on purpose. If only one thing from this entire video gets tried, let it be this one. Everything above builds the foundation. This one puts the roof on the house. Habit 7. The pre-sleep, hand at the base of the skull, paired with the shared blink. Here is what that means, and here is why it works. At the very back of a cat's skull, where the head meets the top of the neck, there is a small, slightly hollow spot right between the ears and just behind them. Running fingers along the top of a cat's head, that spot is easy to find. It is a spot cats cannot easily reach themselves. It is also in the wild the spot where a mother cat first grooms her kittens in the earliest days of life. Long before a kitten opens their eyes, the mother's tongue on that spot is one of the very first sensations they associate with safety, warmth, and being fed. That association does not disappear when the kitten grows up. It goes underground and it waits. Here is the ritual. Once a night, ideally in the last few minutes before sleep, when the cat is calm and settled somewhere close, place 2 fingers, very lightly, at that spot at the base of the skull. Not a scratch, not a rub. Just a slow, warm, still pressure, followed by the gentlest possible small circles, no bigger than a pea. At the same time, when the cat looks back, give them a long, slow blink and hold it a beat longer than the one from habit 1. Then open the eyes and stay quiet. That is it, 20 to 40 seconds, every night. There is a story that comes up again and again from longtime cat owners who try this. One version, shared by an older woman with a lean, aging tabby, went something like this. After 11 years of living together, she was still not sure her cat actually liked her. He came to her for food. He allowed petting. But he never sought her out. She tried this exact ritual, this exact spot, this exact blink for 3 weeks. On night 9, for the first time in over a decade, the cat climbed onto the pillow next to hers before she turned off the light, pushed the top of his head into her palm, and closed his eyes first. She said she cried in the dark and did not want to move because she did not want to break whatever had just happened. Nothing had broken. Something had finally been named. The reason this works is not magic. It is a stack. It combines a scent gland-rich zone, a maternal early life memory, a spot the cat cannot self-groom, and a slow blink signal that their species has used for de-escalation since long before humans lived in houses. 4 of a cat's oldest languages, spoken at once, in a moment their nervous system is already primed to soften right before sleep. That is why Habit 7 does what the other 6 combined cannot quite do on their own. One important caution before anyone tries it. Some cats, especially those adopted later in life or with rougher early histories, may not tolerate a hand near the top of the head at first. If a cat pulls away, do not force it. Go back to Habit 2, the offered still hand, for a week. Then try one finger, briefly, on the very top of the head. Build up. Cats who were startled by hands as kittens often need a slower on-ramp, and that is not a failure. That is the relationship as it actually is, and honoring it is what makes the eventual yes real. One more thing worth saying out loud. Please do not overhaul a cat's whole world in one evening. Add one habit every few days. Watch what the cat does, adjust. And if anything unusual shows up during any of this, a flinch that did not used to be there, a sudden aversion to being touched in a spot they used to love, changes in appetite, changes in litter habits, talk to a veterinarian who knows the cat's history. The habits described here are for building a bond. They are not a substitute for hands-on care from someone who can actually examine the cat. If this video made it this far into someone's evening, they are exactly the kind of viewer these get made for. Not a skimmer. Not a click away at minute 2. Someone who sat with their cat or thought about their cat for the last 20 minutes of their life, and that alone says everything about the kind of home that cat lives in. If it has been useful, the most meaningful thing to do is hit the subscribe button. Every subscriber is what keeps longer, slower, more careful videos like this one possible, instead of the fast, loud ones the internet usually rewards. And a tap on the like button quietly helps this reach another cat owner tonight who is lying in bed right now, wondering if their cat really chooses them. There are more of them out there than anyone would guess. Try the 7 habits. Start with 1. Give it a week. Then add the next. And when habit 7 comes around, do it slowly and do it every night, and watch what a cat does when they realize, maybe for the first time, that the hand they have been living with all this time was speaking their language the whole time. See you in the next one. Take good care of your little one tonight.